Today we are going to start the revisions of the chapters which are included in the quarterly exams, upcoming quarterly exams. Okay, already I have given you the syllabus for the computer science already I have messaged you that the syllabus for the computer science in chapter 1, 2 and 3, and already you have covered these lessons we have. Okay, but today again for the students, those who have missed the videos or don't have got the links of the video, for them I am going to start the revision of from the first chapters. Okay, in regarding to your upcoming exams. Okay, so for class 3rd computer science, the first chapter, the name of the chapter was a computer system. Okay, I hope you will enjoy this journey because this is the first time you are going to study the computer science as a subject. Okay, till class 2 there was no computer science, but now you will get introduced what is the computer, what are the different parts of the computers, and some basic workings like in word processor programs, how the word processor functions, then the working on the paint programs. Okay, so before that, first of all, we have to discuss what is computer. What is computer? The computer is generally, it is an electronic machine. It is an electronic machine that accepts or that takes the input from the user. Okay, that takes the input from the user and then process the input which you have given, and then accordingly it gives the result or the output, or even then it can store the information in the system also so that you can use it in the future. Okay, so what is the computer? It is an electronic device, electronic machine or device. Okay, it is, first of all, what is computer? It is an electronic machine, and what are the things it can do? It can take input from the user, it can take input from the user, process it and gives the result. After processing, it gives the result. And next one, it can also stores. It also stores so that you can use it in the future. Okay, so what is the computer? First of all, you have to remember these three things. It is an electronic machine. It can take input from the users, process it according to your instruction. Like suppose you take an example that you have given the instruction, or you have asked the computer to perform the addition of two numbers. You have asked the computer to perform the addition of two numbers. Okay, after giving the instructions, what you need to do? You have to give the input to the computer. Okay, you have to give the two numbers to the computer. Okay, or suppose your maths teacher asks you to add the numbers. Okay, she or he has given you the questions, and then for performing that addition, what you need the two numbers on which you will perform the addition operation. Okay, so in same way you have given the instructions to the computer, add the two numbers. Okay, now the computer needs the input or the numbers on which it has to add. So by using your keyboards or different input devices, okay, different input devices, or the most common one is input devices. Okay, by using the input device, suppose you have given two numbers 2 plus 4. You have given the two numbers 2 plus 4, and then computer will processing according to the process the data which you have given, and it will give you the result. It will calculate this, and it will perform the addition, or it will calculate the sum of these two numbers, and after calculating it will display you the result on the screen, that is 6. Okay, so and this can be stored in a computer for the future use also. Understood? So the computer is an electronic machine which it can take input from the user, process it, and give the result. It can also store it for the future use. Clear? Now, the data which we enter, the data which is entered by the users, the data which is entered by the users is generally called data. Data. What is data? Here we will talk about data and the information. In the computer we are always discussing what is data, what is information. So it is important to understand what is the data. If I am telling that data, then what do you mean by data? Data, it can be any, it can be any input given by the user. Any input which is given to the system is called data. Any raw facts and figure, any numbers, any input or alphabets which you input or you give through the different input devices to the computer is called as data. And what is information? Information we get in, or you can say that after processing the data, the computer after processing the data, after processing the data, we get meaningful information. We get the meaningful information. Okay. So after processing the data, we get the meaningful information. In same way, suppose we discussed that there are two numbers. You have just entered the two numbers 2 and 4. So does that two numbers mean anything? Gives you the any particular information about that? No, because they are just the two numbers inputted by you. But as it performs the addition task, as it performs, after performing the addition, it gives the result. So then you mean that these two numbers were being processed and it gives you the valuable information that 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Okay, so this is the data and the information. Now the computers have, any computer have some important parts of it. There are some important parts regarding the computers like the monitor, CPU, keyboard and the mouse. Any computer has four basic parts for it. The first one is monitor, through which you can see the results. Okay, and CPU, which perform the processing or which do the processing, and keyboard through which you can give the input, and mouse is used, the handheld device which is used to give the input or perform the task. Okay. So any computers have four important parts. First is monitor, CPU, and then keyboard, and the mouse. Monitor, CPU, keyboard, and mouse. These are the physical components which you can see them easily. Okay, these are the physical components. These are the physical part of the computer which can be seen easily. You can see the monitors connected to the CPU which perform all the different processing, stores the information within it. Okay, and keyboard through which you can type the data or you can give the input to the computer, and the mouse is used for selection purpose. Okay, or to give the input, to click on any object. So first of all, we will now discuss these four parts in explained way. So the first part which is there is the monitor. The monitor generally looks like a TV. The monitor generally looks like a TV. I hope that most of you have already seen it. Monitor. I hope that most of you have seen the monitors. Okay, the monitor looks like the TV, and you can see the alphabets, words, cartoons, pictures, numbers in the monitor. Okay, suppose if you play any video file, if you open any video file on the computer, so you can, and you are watching any cartoon movie, so you can watch it on the monitor. If suppose you have given the instruction to add the numbers, then you can get the result, you can see the result on the monitor itself. Clear? In same way, you can see the alphabets. Suppose you type any alphabet, you are typing the alphabets from A to Z. You are typing the alphabets through your keyboard from A to Z. Then you can see all the alphabets on your monitor screen. It will be displayed there on the monitor screen. All the alphabets from 1 to Z, A to Z. In same way, if you are typing the numbers, you can see them on the screen. Or you are using the paint program and you are drawing any picture on the computer, like suppose you have drawn any flag or any house, any picture through using your keyboard and mouse, then you can see that particular picture through the monitor. Okay, the monitor generally helps us to see the result, or what are the inputs given to the computer. Okay. So the monitors are generally called the output device. The monitors are called output device. Okay. So any computer. So before that, I would like to discuss that any computer has two types of parts. Two important. All the parts of the computer is divided into two different parts: the input devices and the output device. Input device and the output device. There is two types of devices, either input device. The input devices are used to give the input to the computer. Okay, the input devices are used to give the input to the computer. Like examples, we can take your keyboard, mouse. For playing the video games, you you can use the joystick and your cameras connected to the computer. So all these are the input devices through which you can give the different types of input to the computer. Okay, through which the input devices through which the computer accepts the input from the user or get the input from the users are called input devices. Whereas the second is called output devices. Output devices, all the parts of the computer which help us to get the result. All the parts through which we get the result. Like you can take the example of output devices: monitor and printer. Monitor and printer. So monitor, you can see the output or the result on the screen, and through the printer you can get it print out on the paper. Okay, through the monitor you can see the result on the screen, and through the printer you can get it on the paper. So all the devices of the computers are being divided into two groups. One is input device, another one is output device. So we are discussing about monitor. The monitor is, we are discussing about the monitor. The monitor is output device. It is output device. It is an output device through which you can see the result on the screen. Okay, or through which you get the result after the processing. Okay, the monitors are also known as, it is also known as VDU, that is visual display unit. Visual display unit. The VDU full form stands for visual display unit. Okay, don't worry about all the full forms. I will give you the list of all the full forms related to these chapters after completing the revision part. Okay, now the monitors there are basically the two types of monitors were there. Nowadays there are many different types of monitors are there, but the most used monitors were the earlier time we were using the CRT monitor. In earlier time, okay, we are using the CRT monitor. It was very heavy in size and it looks like similar to the TV, and it was not easy to carry it from one place to another place easily. Okay, it was heavy in size, and the full form is cathode ray tube. Cathode ray tube. Another type of monitors are LCD monitor, liquid crystal display. I hope that you are familiar with LCD. That nowadays in the most of the houses there are LCD TVs are there. LCD, or you can say the another type is LED TV or LED screens, or the LED monitors are there. LED, that is light emitting diode. Light emitting diode. Okay. Then there is a TFT monitor was there in earlier time, that is stand for thin film transistors. So, but most of probably you have to remember these two. These two are the most common used monitors. The CRT monitors were used earlier, and now it has been completely replaced by by the LCD monitors. LCD monitors have replaced the CRT monitors because the CRT monitors were very huge in size, not easy to carry from one place to another, and it occupies more space on the desk in comparison to LCD monitors. The LCD monitors are very lightweighted, occupies less space, okay, and the picture quality of LCD monitor is much more better in comparison to the CRT monitors. Clear? So this is the monitor. Now we will discuss about the another important part of the computer, that is the CPU. The CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. The CPU stands for Central Processing Unit, and it is the brain, and it is the main part of your body. Okay, it is the main part of the computers, where it processes the data, it accepts the data, it processes it according to the instructions, and it controls all the functions performed by the computers is controlled by the CPU itself. The CPU, it stands for Central Processing Unit. It stands for Central Processing Unit, and it is the main part of the computer system, and its task is it controls all the functions of computer. It controls all the type of functions performed by the computer. Whatever task has been done by the computer is done through the CPU itself. The CPU controls and guides all the different devices connected to the computer, and it controls how the task is to be performed. Suppose if you give the instruction to the computer, you have asked the computer to perform the addition of two numbers. So the CPU will think what it has to do. It has to add the number. So for adding the number, it needs the two numbers. So it asks for the input, and as the user gives the input, then it again performs the calculation, and then it gives the result. So each and everything which is done by the computer is being performed through the CPU itself. So it controls all the functions by the computer and the working of the computer. Now the CPU has three important parts. CPU consists of three important parts. First one is ALU, second one is CU, and third one is MU. ALU, CU, and MU. So the ALU stands for Arithmetic and Logic Unit. It stands for Arithmetic and Logic Unit. CU stands for Control Unit, and MU stands for Memory Unit. MU stands for the memory unit. Now the ALU, we will first discuss about the ALU, that is Arithmetic and Logic Unit. The Arithmetic and Logic Unit performs all the arithmetic calculation, like suppose the arithmetic calculations like addition of the numbers, subtractions of the number, division, multiplication, all the mathematical calculations, all the calculation related parts, and the logical operations are being performed by the computer itself. Like suppose the arithmetic calculations, like you can take example of addition of the numbers, multiplications, subtraction, divisions. Okay, and the logical unit means, like suppose you have to compare the two values, whether the suppose two numbers are given and you have to compare that which number is greater or which number is smaller, or whether both the numbers are equal or not. So all this type of logical works are being performed, or the task is being performed by the ALU, which is the part of the CPU. Okay, now the control unit, the CU, controls the flow of information between various parts of computer and the coordinates the flow. The work of control unit is like, you can take example that suppose if you give the input for the addition of the number, you have given the input 2 and 4. Through you have pressed 2 on your keyboard, you have given the input. You have pressed the another key 4 from your keyboard, you given the input 2 and 4. Now this particular data which is received by the computer through the input device, through the keyboard, directly goes to the control unit. It goes to the control unit. Then what control unit will do? It has to perform the addition, so it will send the data to the arithmetic unit, ALU part. ALU part will perform the arithmetic operation, that is, it will perform the addition, and again after performing the addition, it will send it to the control unit. That result is 6, and then control unit send it to the monitor to display the result on the screen. So all the exchange of information or sharing of the information from one part of the computer to the another part of the computer is done by the control unit itself. Okay. Now the memory unit, the third one is memory unit. The memory unit has there are two different types of memory. One is RAM and ROM. The memory units, either it is RAM or ROM. There are two types of memories are there, RAM or other one is ROM. The ROM, that is read only memory, it is read only memory, and this is random access memory. The ROM, the read only memory, is a permanent memory. It is a permanent memory and we cannot erase the data which is stored on the ROM. Whatever data is stored or saved in the ROM cannot be deleted once it has been written or it is stored. Whereas the RAM, that is random access memory, it saves the data for the temporary. The data are stored temporarily there, and as you switch off the computer, whereas the computer switches off, all the data from the RAM is erased or deleted. Clear? So now you have understood the difference between RAM and ROM. The ROM is a permanent memory. The read-only memory is a permanent memory which stores the data, and once it is stored, it cannot be erased or deleted. Whereas RAM stores the data temporarily, and as we switch off or turn off the computer, the data is being deleted from the memory location. Okay. Now these are the different parts of the CPU. Now we will move to the another important part of the computer, that was keyboard. Another part of the computer, that is the keyboard. Okay, the keyboard is an input device. As we have discussed earlier, the input device is an output device. The monitor was output device. The keyboard is an input device through which we can type the data and we can give the input to the computer. So the keyboard, it is an and you can it can be used to type the data. It can be used to type the data. Data now, the data can be in the form of alphabets, numbers, words, sentence. Okay, the data can be either a combination of alphabets or the numbers or only the alphabets, or it can be a word or a paragraph. Suppose if you want to write any story, you can use your keyboard, you can type it and you can write the story for you. If you want to write any, you want to do your math homework, then you can use your computer keyboard and you can type and you can complete your homework. Okay, if you want to do the assignment of the computers, you can type it and you can do it. So through the keyboard. So the keyboard is an input device and it can be used to type the data. So now every keyboard has some different sets of keys are there. Every keyboard has different set of keys, like it contains the alphabet keys, number keys, then function keys, arrow keys are there, punctuation mark keys are there, symbols and special keys. Function keys, symbol keys, punctuation mark, punctuation keys, special keys, and many more. Arrow keys are there to move the cursor from or for use playing the games. Arrow key. So one by one we will discuss all the different keys here. The alphabet keys from A to Z. Number keys from 0 to 9. From 0 to 9. Then punctuation marks like the function keys F1 to F12. Symbol keys, different symbols are there like bracket, dollar, brackets, dollar symbol, asterisk symbols, punctuation marks, comma, full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, all these are there. Then the some special keys like Shift, Control, Alt and Delete. Shift key, Control key, Delete key, and Alt key is there. Arrow keys, up, down, left, right. 4 arrow keys are there. Okay, so these are the some different set of keys which are present on each and every keyboard. Okay, along with these keys, there are some other functional keys are also available in different models of the keyboard. But these are the some basic keyboard keys which are present in all the keyboards of the computer. Okay. Now we will discuss here. Here we will discuss about some of the important keys related to the computer, like control keys, caps lock, shift key, space bar, backspace key. Okay, so the first one is caps lock key. The caps lock key is present on the left hand side of your keyboard. The caps lock key is present on the left hand side of the keyboard and it is used to write any characters or any alphabets in the capital letter. It is used to write the capitals, the alphabets, words or sentence or a paragraph in the capital letter. Suppose if you want to write anything in capital letter, you have to use the caps lock. And for using the caps lock, what you have to do, you have to once press the caps lock key. As you press the caps lock key, and then if you will type the alphabets, or you press the alphabet on the keyboard, you can see on the screen it will be written in the capital letter. It will be written in the capital letter. Again, if you want to write it in the small letters, then once again you have to press the caps lock, and now you can write it in the small letters. So every time you want to write it in a capital letter, press the capital caps lock, it will be on, and again if you press the caps lock, it will turn off. Okay, so this is use of the caps lock key, that is used for the writing any characters or the alphabets with the capital letter. The second set of key is shift key. The shift key, there are two shift keys present on the keyboard. There are two shift keys present on the keyboard. Okay, and one is on the left hand side and other one is on the right hand side of the alphabet. Okay, the two shift keys are there. One is on the left hand side of the alphabets and other one is on the right hand side. You can use any shift key according to your easefulness, and the shift keys are used with the combination of different characters. As you see, when you will see the keyboard on the top row, just below, along with the function keys, there the number keys are there. The number keys are there. Different number keys are present, and along the number keys, there are different symbols are also present. Different symbols are there. Okay, different symbols are there. So, in order to use these symbols, you have to press the shift key and the particular key. Okay, like suppose if you want to write the symbol of dollar, if you want to write the symbol of dollar, then what you can do, press shift key and press the number key, or you can, if you want to press the and key for writing the email address, you can press it with shift key plus the number key. Okay, you can see on the top of the number key, the different symbols are present, and to use that particular symbols within your typing, you can use the combination of shift key. Now the next one is space bar. Next one is space bar. The space bar is one of the longest key. It is the longest key present on the keyboard. At the bottom of the keyboard, okay, at the below line of the keyboard, you can see the longest key of your keyboard is there, which is called the space bar. And space bar key is used to give a blank line while typing. Suppose if you are writing, you are typing your name. After completing your first name, you have to give the space, and in order to give the space, you have to press the space bar. Okay, or like suppose you have to write the alphabet from A to Z. After writing A, press the space bar, then type B, again press the space bar, then type C. So the space bar is used to give the blank space between the words or the alphabets. Okay, and it is the longest key present on the keyboard. After that, there is a cursor control button. The cursor control buttons, the arrow keys, are called the cursor control buttons. Arrow key. There are 4 different arrow keys are there. You can see on the right hand side. It is present on the right hand side of the keyboard, and you can see there are 4 arrow keys are there, and you can move the mouse cursor. You can move the pointer of the mouse in any direction by using the arrow keys, like up if If you want to move it up, you can press the up and you can see the cursor will move upward. If you press the down key, the cursor goes down. Left key and the right key. The arrow keys or the cursor control key. The arrow keys or cursor control keys. Clear? Now, the another set of important keys that is most commonly used is enter key. The enter keys, there are also two enter keys on the keyboard. There is two enter key in the keyboard. Enter. There is two enter keys. When you finish typing, suppose after typing any data or suppose after completing one sentence, if you want to move to the new line, if you want to move to the new line, you can press the enter key and you can see the cursor will move to the next line. Okay? Or after typing or finishing the typing a sentence, press the enter key, it is used. Okay? Or to give the input, you can press the enter. Okay? Then the another set of key is delete key. Delete. If you want to delete anything, you can use the delete key. The delete key is used to erase your mistakes that you make while typing in the computer. It erases the character to right of the cursor. Okay? It moves to the right. Another key is also there to erase is backspace key. Backspace key is there which can, so these two are used to erase the, suppose while typing anything you have done any mistake and you want to erase it. You want to erase and or you want to correct your mistake, then you can use any one delete key or the backspace key, then it will erase. But the difference between both are that delete key moves toward the right. It will delete the character toward the right direction. Okay? Whereas backspace deletes to the left. Okay? Like suppose you have written school. You have written school and you press the backspace. If you press the backspace, it will first delete L, then it will delete O, then it will again delete O, H, C and S. Okay? Whereas if you have written the school and you want to delete it and your mouse cursor is here. If your mouse cursor, suppose your mouse cursor is here and you have written some another thing here and you are pressing the delete key continuously, it will not delete this particular part, it will move toward the right direction. Okay? It will move to the left to right, whereas backspace moves from right to left. So these are some of the basic keys on the keyboard, and the next part which we are going to discuss is mouse. The next part which we will discuss is mouse. The mouse are generally a pointing device. The mouse is a pointing device. Mouse, it is also input device. It is also one of the input device through which we can give the input device. It is also a pointing device to point the things. Pointing device. Okay, pointing means suppose if you want to click on any point or you want to close the program, so you can directly take your mouse and you can go on close button, you can click there, it will close. So it is used to draw the pictures, select the object and text on the computer. Okay, it is used to point out anything on the screen, or if you want to select anything on the screen, you can can be used in the drawing also. Now there are in every mouse consists of two buttons and scroll wheel. Every mouse has two buttons, left and right button, and a scroll wheel. So left and right buttons have different functions. To select anything or to click on anything, you have to press on the left button. To open the menu, you have to use the right button. Okay, or scroll wheel is used to move the page up and down. To go through the whole document, suppose your page is more than one page, your file is of more than one page, you can use the scroll wheel and you can move the screen up and down. Okay, now the actions performed by the mouse, either clicking, drag and drop, clicking and the drag and drop functions are there. The clicking means to click on, suppose if you want to close the program, use your mouse, take your mouse cursor to that close button and directly you click or press your mouse left button one time. It will close the program. Suppose if you want to open any file or any program on a computer, like you want to open the Paint program, you will go to the icon where it is written Paint and you will click your mouse two times. You will press your mouse button two times and it will open the program. So it is called clicking. Another function or another action which is associated or related to the mouse is drag and drop. Suppose if you want to move any file, from one location to the another location, one place to another, then you can easily first select the file which you want to move. Okay, after selecting, press the mouse, hold the mouse button, press the mouse button and just drag it to the new place, and then you release the mouse button, you will see the object move from one place to new location. So this is called drag and drop action. Okay, so the clicking, when you click the left mouse button once and release, then it is the left click, and when you click right mouse button, it is a right click. When you press the left mouse button twice very quickly and release, it is called double click. And for drag and drop, when you want to move the object from one position to the another position on the monitor, then drag and drop is used. Dragging means to hold the text or the object which you want to move. So press the left button, select the object or the text and move your cursor to the new location where you want to move it, and then you press the right button and you can move it. Okay, so this is all for today. This is how we come to the end, and in the next session of our revision we will discuss about few more different hardware parts or the devices which can be connected, like projectors, printers, scanners. Okay, some other parts or the hardware parts of the computer which can be connected to the computer. Okay, so in this part we have discussed about four more important parts, that is monitor, keyboard, CPU and the mouse. Okay, till that time, have a nice day and thank you.